All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the best of the Group 32 stage for Southern Cross Dota Tide's Wrath Season 3. And it's been a long time since I've been in the casting booth with this man, Ragnarok, but we are finally back together. How you going, buddy?
Not bad. It has been a very long while. You were supposed to be doing some casts with me, but down at Respawn Land. But unfortunately, you were too busy playing the game instead of casting it. But yeah, it is good that we're back together. I think it was the Alienware series, the Australian New Zealand Alienware Regionals. The last time we probably casted together.
Yeah, and that was about a good year ago, and it is a shame about Respawn, but, you know, to the best of our ability and to our confusion as well, we actually did a lot better than we thought. So we did more playing than casting, which I was quite surprised to do. But we are here now. We've got a pretty decent game ahead of us. We've got Can't Say Whips and Team Alpha here for a nice best of three. And I must say, the lineup, the players themselves, we've got some pretty big names there. We've got Jizz Bond, who's Godo. We've got Slicks, who played for Frenetic Array back in DreamHack Winter in Hon, and was considered one of the best. He was considered one of the best mids of the time. And then you got, you know, Z Muffin Man's the fairly common. Well, he's well known in the Dota scene, I must say, in Oz Dota at least.
Very well known. Yeah, Jizzbond definitely Godot, not Godot.
Godo.
Not Godot. Godot.
It's Godo.
Was a part of Absolute Legends for a very, very long time there. When the Australian team was sponsored, yes. As you were saying. But anyway, we are into picks and bans at the moment, so we will quickly run through those. Darkseer and Batrider being banned out by Can't Say. No surprise there. Batrider, I think out of all the professional games, out of like the 3,000 and something professional games, there is only 3 games that he hasn't been picked or banned in any game whatsoever. So no surprise there seeing him being banned out. And we have an Elder Titan being banned as well as a Wisp. So the Elder Titan, I'm not too sure on that ban, but we'll see how that works out throughout the game.
Oh, look, they're very typical bans, especially with Elder Titan slowly moving his way into the meta game because he's so dominant with his ancestral spirit and his passive. It's just so strong to nullify all magic armor and base magic armor and a fair chunk of base armor as well. But we are going to see standard picks coming out for the first and second picks for both teams here. Naga Siren and Visage definitely picked and banned fairly regularly, especially Naga Siren making her way as a first pick. She's so good at supporting lane with that net that goes up to 5 seconds. Plus the negative R on Riptide, and of course Song of the Siren. It's a team fight reset. It can be a free Roshan. It's so powerful, and Visage as well with his soul assumption. It's perfect for an aggressive tri lane. And then, of course, you got Can't Say Whips picking up the Nyx Assassin and the Chen as well. Another 2 dominant heroes, especially Nyx. Once he hits that level 6, your supports have to be so much more on their toes and warding so much more aggressively and defensively at the same time.
Yeah, Naga's been one of these really, really weird ones that have come out onto the scene. When she first came out onto the scene, she was a hard carry, farming up in the lane. She had very good base damage early on, but then after a couple of nerfs and stuff like that, she sort of just disappeared out of the scene completely until people realised that she can be picked up as a support and just how much damage she can do, especially with the net lockdown as well as that Riptide, as you said, just the amount of damage that can come out of her with not having too many levels. And then once she has level 6, she basically has the team fight reset. So, the No Fun Naga coming out. But yes, Nyx Assassin, it looks like both teams have picked up both of their supports really early on here. Unless Nyx Assassin, of course, is going to be going into that mid-roll, where once he can get to that level 6 very, very quickly, he can just go ganking anywhere he wants, anywhere around the map. And plus having a Chen on there, you always have that global heal. Most likely he will be going into the jungle, as we see most Chens do. And picking up a couple of creeps early on, and most likely going for a very early push on one of the lanes, depending on how much counter push the Alpha team actually gets.
Look, they've got so much more potential, and we've seen them ban out Puck and Furion, and so they obviously don't want a bit of a no rat Dota today. He says Suck on D's, I'm assuming is the captain. We can't actually tell, but they're going to still have a lot of push coming against them from Chen. So they're going to have to be quite defensive early game. And if Can't Say Whips, I'm going to call them Can't Say Wisp because it's easier. Or CSW. If CSW go for that safe lane top, then either Alpha are going to have to contest that with their own tri lane, or if they send a solo top, that tower's probably going to fall really quickly within the first 4 or 5 minutes or so. And then they can make a straight run for that tier 2 at top lane. So they're going to have to sort of try and counterpick that heavy push that we're going to see on CSW at the moment, Rag. And we are down into the picking phase. And like you said, you could see that Nyx on mid, although he is primarily a support. So if we assume that's two supports, well hold on. We've got the Alchemist coming out, so there's your safe lane carry, and you've got your two supports there already. So we still need a mid and an off lane for Alpha, and we still...
That's looking quite heavily in aggressive tri-lane right there. With the Naga
Definitely.
Visage as well as Alchemist, that's looking very good with the aggressive tri-lane. And the best thing about it for them is that they've seen the Chen pick up, so they know it's going to be most likely a defensive tri-lane coming out from Kansai. And Nyx is one of those ones, he can be very good early on, but he's only got one Impale and it's on such a long cooldown, especially at level 1. He really doesn't have anything else to back it up, so their carry that they're going to have to pick up for this lane is going to have a pretty heavy stun to come in with it as well.
Well, a stun is great, but you could also have a nice strong slow there as well. Or it depends on what they have. If they've got enough carry coming out, enough burst coming out from the carry, plus they've got another hero to run in that in their lane.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw some sort of like a Luna may most likely come out there. Someone who has a lot of nuking potential, especially in that. But the hardest thing for them is going to be they're going to have to play very safe. Luna does have that very short attack range. They will want some sort of range carry, obviously, because it will most likely be 2v1 up there with Chen coming in only out of the jungle every now and then. But a Timbersaw pick up now instead, and that would either be their long lane or their mid lane. Either way,
these days probably a mid. Well, he's about 50-50 these days, really, actually.
Yeah, well, he's got the Timber Chain, so he's going to be able to get out of the ganks pretty easy. As long as he gets it off just before a stun hits, he should be able to get out very easily on that long lane. He's one of those toss-up champions. He can either go into the mid lane or he can go into the long lane and still play reasonably defensive and reasonably smart and pick up the levels when needed.
Yeah, and that's why Timbersaw excels at what he does, because he can get those early levels, he can get the early, and all his skills are pure damage, mind you. That early levels just means so much damage. And now a level 7 or 8 Timbersaw going through a level 3 or 4 support, and he just churns them up. And now we've got a Clockwork pick coming out for Alpha, so we'll probably see him soloing the top lane at this stage. Although Alchemist Visage Naga, we could see that aggressive tri-lane I was mentioning before, which means Clockwork will have safe lane bot.
Clockwork will just be the solo side laner.
Solo safe lane, and he'll go utility.
He'll be solo side lane.
What do you think though?
Lane, sure.
Utility, or like probably see a mech on Clockwork, or just go straight for more aggressive like Arganims?
It really depends on the lane that he's going to be going into. Until we know exactly where they're going to be branching off, if they're going to go for that aggressive tri-lane, if they're going to go off for anything else. Because if they do go that aggressive tri-lane, they get a couple of early kills. It wouldn't surprise me if the Visage actually picked up the mech very early on. Clockwork would have a lot of farm. It would give him the opportunity to get down there and actually burst out a bit more damage. But we do have a Mirana pickup, so that's most likely going to be our hard carry for Kansai with that Nyx and the Chen coming out of the jungle. She's got good range, she's got a nice hard stun as long as it lands, and she's got a lot of nuke damage that can come out. Plus, the ultimate can just give her team so much mobility, being able to sneak around during the night time. But last two bans, Queen of Pain banning out a mid laner, which is what it looks like they're going to be going for, and an Outworld Destroyer, and a Shadow Fiend. I love it!
Ooh,
I love it already.
I do like Shadow Fiend.
Already.
That aura is going to be so brutal, considering you're going to have Clockwork's Battery Assault. Oh no, Battery Assault's physical now. Magical now, never mind, ignore me. But you're going to have a lot of damage, plus you've got the negative armor from Riptide, you've got the negative armor from Acid Spray, and there's a -6 from Presence of the Dark Lord. That's a lot of minus armor. That's, what, almost an Assault Cuirass? In terms of armor decrease?
I just love the synergy of this lineup right now. Shadow Fiend doesn't have a lot of lockdown, and that's his biggest issue, especially in teams. He doesn't have a lot of lockdown, but you've got Nagasong into Clockwork with his cogs. The Shadow Fiend can wind up while the Nagasong's going off. Alchemist has a stun, and in that range of Clockwork's cogs, all of them are going to get stunned. With the AoE, and then you've got the Visage that can obviously deal out Soul Assumption, plus have the Familiars dropping down and banging smack on their head. But we will quickly, last pickup was Alina, so this looks like it will be a solo mid Nyx.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be. Who's on Nyx? I'll quickly run you through, I'll go through CSW, Rag. We've got Jizzbond Godot, however he wants to be called, and he will be playing on the Lena. We'll have Slicks playing that Mirana, going into top with the safe lane. We're going to have Z Muffin Man playing on the Nyx Assassin. Similarly, he'll be playing up top. We've got the Timbersaw being picked up by ganking mid. Hopefully, we'll see him doing a lot of what his namesake says so. And we're going to see Guani on that Chen, riding his noble steed into battle. And thanks, Clockwork.
Quickly switch over to Alpha. We do have Suck on D's. He will be playing on the Visage. We have Untamed. He is on that big and scary Goblin Man of Alchemist. We do have the Goblin Clockworks. He will be playing, being played by White Yakasha, something like that along those lines.
Yaksha.
Yeah. Ice is Nice will be on the Naga Siren, and we do have Shadow Fiend being played by Smithy420. So we do have the game. It is underway at the moment, and it looks like it will be defensive tri-lane against defensive tri-lane. Clockwork will be going up into that top lane, so it wouldn't surprise me in the least if we actually saw him pick up the mech now.
Yeah, he's definitely got to go for that mech, but he's going to have to be careful, because I really think that that top tower is going to be falling reasonably quickly at top. And he's actually going to have to be quite careful, because once that Chen sort of roams around, he could be in a bit of trouble.
Solo mid Lena.
What? Okay, well,
yeah. This is a Dendy move right now. This is definitely a Dendy move.
In Horn, Pyromancer was one of the stronger mid solos because he had a really good attack animation and projectile speed. But in Dota, Lena has the most horrible attack projectile and attack animation in the game. She has to rub her left breast before throwing a ball of fire. And it's actually, if you look at it, it is the slowest attack animation in the game, close to Clink's and I think Drow. So it's you know, not great for a mid when you've got Shadow Fiend, who's got a pretty decent animation and projectile speed. Although right now Smithy420 is taking a bit of damage to both Jizzbont to Godot, and he's losing last hits. It's 1-0 to 7-2 at the moment, Rag. That's not great for a Shadow Fiend, especially when you need souls. You need souls to get damage.
Just a quick thing. Do you have your in-game mic on, because I can't see it showing up in the corner?
Ooh, give me a sec.
Just for all those in-game listeners, they're hearing everything I say and they can't hear a damn thing you say.
Let's see. It should be working now. How about now? Yep, there we go. That seems to be working a bit now. Is that appearing for you, Rag?
No, it's not appearing for me, but as long as it's showing up for you, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
It's still there. It's still definitely there, which is an improvement at least.
Probably just because I have my sound all the way down. That's probably the only thing. But we do have a look. We see Gunny. He is in the jungle. He's stacking up. He managed to get himself a Wilkin first off. So he was stacking camps. He was getting up those early levels, being able to use the Tornado to get everything he can. Shadow Fiend, he is level 3. He's got 2 levels in Razors now, so he shouldn't have too much of an issue being able to farm. He still only has 4 hits, but Jizzbond, you have a look, goes in, tries to get a couple sneaky attacks on it, but Smithy very, very well dodged out of the way. Go back down to bottom, ganking mid. He's got absolutely nothing on him at the moment. He doesn't even have a single last hit, and neither does the Clockwork. So we have a look down here. Clockwork's at least at level 2. We've got the Timbersaw. He's only at level 1, but he's going 1v1 with the Visage at the moment.
Yeah, look, that's what they need to do. They need to shut that Timbersaw out while they can. He hasn't actually gone for the level in reactive armor, which means he's going to have to play a bit more passively. He's not going to have that extra regen for him to stay alive and sustain himself in that lane. And look at this, you can see Suck on D's, the Visage, just pushing him out of lane with those auto attacks. And damn, Visage does hit hard. 56 damage for an int hero. It's not too shabby, considering you see most strength heroes hitting about that. And we're actually seeing also, Rag, a look. We're seeing actually Lena is doing really, really well in that mid lane. 16-5 to the 9-2 Shadow Fiend. And up at top, 18-10 on that Mirana. Slicks just last hitting like a pro right now. And the only person higher than him at the moment is the Alchemist, who of course does have that. And he's got a concoction charging, 2 seconds left. And there it is, 210 damage on the ganking mid. He's going to drop down there. Visage, Suck on D's, gets first blood on that Timbersaw. And that was a nice net soul assumption. Not soul assumption, grave chill and concoction combo, and that's what they're going to need to pull off in the in that tri lane. And it's quite a brutal combo. You've got that Alchemist done. 2.5 seconds at level 2.
Oh, mid lane.
Mid lane, what have we got? I
Chen
caught
just
it at the
actually
end.
dived in. Just dived in behind the tower. Lena was going on him. Let the Chen come in with the Centaur Stomp straight after the what is it called, Light Strike Array, and managing to beat down on him in the back while Lena was just trying to keep the creeps on her side, so it wasn't actually going anywhere. But Shadow Fiend does end up going down, so that's going to cut his souls in half again. He is only at 9, now 10. He's got 2 points up in that Necro Mastery, and he just wants more points up in that Shadow Ray so he can farm a bit quicker.
Okay, I've actually just... I've just been told by one of the SCT guys the mic was fine, so it must just be your end, Rag, that's not picking it up. But apparently it seems to be good, which is good. Crisis averted. Hopefully it's not coming out too loud now since I changed the threshold. But everything seems to be back to normal. And we've actually gone... What's the gold like? Look at this, Rag. We're 4 minutes in, and it's even in gold. It's 30 gold difference. Considering First Blood went in the way of Alpha, and then CSW counted on their mid hero, that's good to see it's equal, and especially when they've got that Alchemist. Alchemist is getting near free farm. He's picked up the Hand of Midas recipe. He's got enough to get that Hand of Midas now, so he's going to make his way to that secret shop probably quite soon, just to pick up that Midas and start that dollar bills coming into him. Here we go. He's going straight for it now. Pick up the Midas, start farming, and he's going to get heaps of gold, heaps of levels. He's going to start skyrocketing, and that's not what they want. That Alchemist, while he might not be the best 6 vs 6, like, completely item-slotted hero, but what he does is he gets his 6 items at 30 minutes, 35 minutes, which is why he's such a strong carry, because he snowballs out of control. And I've actually just missed a kill on the top lane, Rag. Mirana, the Slicks, just killed White Yaksha, the Clockwork, up on top lane. It looks like with the help of the Muffin Man, the Nyx assassin there, so that's good play, and Slicks is just going to keep farming now. 370 GPM, 31 and 13. Clockwork, unfortunately, only level 4.
And then Lena takes out Shadow Fiend. And then Lena takes out Shadow Fiend in mid lane. Gets the ultimate.
What were we saying about that Lena mid?
Yeah, apparently absolutely amazing. There's nothing anyone could ever do to beat her down. This was the way it was going to go, though. Shadow Fiend needed a really, really good start. He's one of these sort of heroes that needs to snowball out of control really early on. But unfortunately, Jizbon managed to get up quite a few levels, got the last hits and denies, and is just now got the level 6 and is just now able to burst him down whenever she pleases. Especially with Laguna Bay, she does have arcane boots. We'll be picking up a regen rune, so only 27 seconds left, and she's going to be able to do that once again. But we do have a look. The bottom lane is actually pushing up in the way.
Oh, Timbersaul's in trouble
underneath the tower, and it was not a really good.
There he goes.
Will go down.
He's back.
Was not nearly screwed up, and here comes Lena. Lena's coming into this lane now, wants to pick up the Visage, but will not. The stun will come out from Alchemist. He was not going to be able to get it once again. Wants to go down under that Lena, but Lena does have Laguna Blade up once again. Wonder if they know, and there we go, straight down on the Alchemist, absolutely smashes him out of that lane, and that'll give Timbersaw a bit of room now.
Look, these guys, I was still watching top, about to comment on Slicks and the Muffin Man up top, and that's just a jerk combo. Nyx comes in, impales, and Mirana just stands next to him and just throws an arrow at his face, and bam, 3 seconds stun. What can you do about it? And that's happened to Clockwork twice now, but I did miss that for Lena, Godot, just going down and just pumping that Laguna Blade straight into the face of... who did he get with it? Into the face of Alchemist. And with it being on a 70-second cooldown of a few patches ago, that ulti is just so strong. It's a 400 damage nuke or so with the magic resist, and it's every minute. That's just silly.
And the push is now coming down onto that top lane. We knew it was going to come. Clockwork Goblin can't do anything about this. They're just going to push down on this tower. They will be able to push down again. There is actually a couple of people. The 2 supports from bottom lane have actually TP'd into the mid. They want to get down onto this Lena. Lena playing very, very smart. She does have a very good attack range, so she can stay out of trouble. Yeah, she can stay out of trouble quite a bit. And there we go, Vanish goes in, and it looks like they're going to be coming down. They want this Clockwork Goblin, but he's going to move back. They don't know.
Shadow Fiend's having a bad time.
Yeah, Haste Rune does come down on top, and there we go. The Naga Siren is going to be jumping in here. The slow comes out. Naga does net, Riptides, but Jizbon just stands there and goes, "Yeah, is that all you got?" Okay,
they're definitely in trouble though, Rag. We've got a sort of a bit of a wraparound coming here. Slick, Squani, and Muffin Man are in between that tier 1 and that tier 2 tower in that middle lane, and I don't know if Ice is Nice and Suck on D's have sort of seen it coming, but they've bailed out as quick as they can. There's no one in the mid lane, which means Jizbon now has the freedom to push that tower, and the supports and Slicks are now rotating around that mid tower. It's going to fall quite quickly. We've got the Skeleton Warriors, so doing a little bit, 24 damage a hit. That tower's going to go down to Nix's house, giving him a nice boost in gold, about 3k advantage to Can't Say Whips at the moment. And they've given themselves a nice lead in both gold and experience, sitting about 3k either way.
Again,
and now ganking mid's in trouble down at bot. He does Timber Chain away after receiving that soul assumption, and I think a cocktail. No, the cocktail didn't go off. But
no, the cocktail did definitely go off. They did the same thing as they did last time. They didn't chain him right. The net went out. The unstable concoction went off at the same time. So basically, it was the same stun time for both of them. But the most interesting thing I have just seen was the Lina with the Dagon.
Well, that's a 1,000 damage nuke.
Definitely.
Well, why not?
400 damage to begin with, but it looks most likely we'll be building this up into a level 5 Dagon.
I
wants
thought
to absolutely annihilate.
I saw the gold and thought 900 gold, Blink Dagger, and look at this. Here we go. Oh, that looks painful.
Great teamwork.
Alchemist just exploded to the Laguna Blade Dagon combo, and that's 1,075 damage straight up. And now we've got Smithy 420 on the run from the Chen. Did I say that? Shadow Fiend running from the Chen?
Yeah, it's weird. But
Does that happen?
Alchemist... No, I've never seen a game where that's happened. Alchemist has gone for a very greedy build so far. He's gone for the face boost, he's gone for the Hand of Midas. He does have a Quelling Blade. He's got no strength items whatsoever. So I reckon the strength treads, if he had strength treads, he might have been able to live in that situation, but he's not going to be able to do it now. But Alchemist back down in the bottom lane. Timbersaw down here by himself. Timbersaw up to level 7 now. Has got plenty of room. And here we go. The Chen has spotted out the 2 supports, and he's just running in. There goes the Troll Trap. There goes the sub as well. The nuke goes off. And will he be able to get this? The Soul Assumption has come out, and it will. And Silence comes out, but no, he's not going to be able to do it. But it looks like Alchemist could be in a bit of trouble.
Laguna Blade almost up.
Laguna Blade
is up.
Just need vision.
Oh, he doesn't get it. The Dagon has been popped as well, so I assume that went on him as too. From Jizbond onto that Alchemist, but we didn't really see the follow-up there. Although now we're going to have to run. We do have Laguna Blade up. Dagon's in 15 seconds. He's got 700 gold stacked up again, ready to go. And Lina is now the highest GPM. They do still have that Mirana, just farming safely at top. She's got a Perseverance, so probably going straight for that Lincoln's, which I like that on Mirana. It's a reliable
Very
build.
old school build.
It is. It's a
Very old school.
It's a good build
right
though.
there.
It is a good build. But he's got the freedom with Jizbon just roaming around the map, picking off heroes like Alchemist, who's in a world of trouble at the moment. It gives Slicks the freedom to farm that top lane, put a bit of damage onto that tier 2 top, and you've got Timbersaw on the bottom lane. I'd say it's Rat Dodo, but it's really not, because they're just pushing out the lanes really well, and they're being aggressive with the heroes who aren't pushing out. It's good
Look at
Dodo.
this Nyx assassin.
Look
at where he's hiding at the moment.
He's using him as bait, and Godot's in a bit of trouble. Unstable Concoction comes out from Alchemist, but he receives a Laguna Blade to the face in the meantime. Ice is nice, does manage to get a net off onto Godot, but Suck on D's the Visage cleans it up with a Soul Assumption. But that was a good trade. I mean, Alchemist was like, here, have a concoction. Lina was like, here, have Laguna Blade, Dagon.
We have Nyx Assassin on the hunt. He's going to jump on this Clockwork right now. He's just running behind him. He doesn't have long left. No, he comes out of the stealth.
There it runs. He
knows where the Clockwork is.
He's going to go him anyway.
Down on him a little bit. Yeah,
he's going to have. He's got friends coming. Nice stun.
Pick up the Visage with that Impale.
Oh, Slicks leaps into that, and Clockwork hook shots across the map. Slicks taking a lot of damage, goes down to White Yaksha, and that was just unfortunate from Slicks. He leapt as Clockwork was ulting in, and Alchemist has just stunned the Muffin Man after picking up an Invis rune, so as Muffin Man gets away, and he's looking for a bit of vengeance, is he? I think he's just been spotted on a sentry ward. He has. This isn't good for Muffin Man. He's been netted by Ice is Nice, and now Alchemist wants to stun him. He's charged up the cocktail, but he's going to die and end up in self-stun. So it's a nice little comeback from Team Alpha there. Just managing to pick off a couple of heroes, just in misplacement was all. The Slicks was caught out. So was Muffin Man. So was, well, Godot threw his life away, but he got a kill in doing so. So it's going to
a couple of mistakes coming out from CSW. They weren't forced by Alpha at all. They were all their own mistakes, and it looks like we do have. Where is ganking mid going? He's picking himself up a point booster, so it looks like he's going to be going straight in for that magical bloodstone that Timbersaws love so much and can
Such a
do it.
good item.
And here we go. They're going to be walking around the corner. The two supports, they have not left each other's side this entire game. They will be beating down on this stack that just happened, taking that away from most likely the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, have not seen him in a while. He does have 73 CS, but it does look like he's getting ganked out right now. He is in a lot of trouble. The starter does go off, and there goes No Fun Naga.
No Fun Naga just says, no, I don't want to fight. And that's the end of the fight. It ends that quickly, but you can't do that for another 3 minutes. And you were just talking about the Shadow Fiend, Rag, but he's only got his Ogre Club for the BKB. He's going first up, straight up BKB. So no Shadow Blade, no Blink Dagger, straight BKB, which he does need in this game. He really does need it. But he is a little bit behind at the moment. He's only 300 GPM, which you look at Mirana and Lena. Lena's at 504, Mirana's at 430, and she's almost got her Lincoln Sphere. She's
And a Blink Dagger.
What? Lena's got a Blink Dagger now? Oh, he's huge. This is 14 minutes in, folks, and Lena has a Blink Dagger and a Dagon and level 14. What's her experience a minute? Let me find the button for that. 747 experience a minute. Nearly, almost double Shadow Fiend, who's at 390 and is the next highest. He's got a lot of experience, and that's from 7 near solo kills. 7 kills, 1 assist. He's been in 8 of the 10 kills. Everyone else has been in 2. So that just tells you all that experience just being funneled straight into that Lena. It's a lot of experience, and that's kind of scary because she can almost she can combo down any of them, Rag, easily. Visage 850 HP, Alchemist 930, Clockwork 910, Naga 815. Shadow Fiend's 1200 at the moment with his boots on int.
Mirana's only 1300 away from finishing off that Lincoln Sphere now. As well, she's just managed to pick up her ultimate orb, so she'll be going, having the time of her life once she gets that up. She was not going to be able to get stunned by the unstable concoction or the net from Naga. They will have to try and throw a couple of things out to get her, but I love it. And Lena just burst down Shadow Fiend.
I went to watch Alchemist, and I come back, and Jizz Bond has just owned Smithy. I'm like,
The moment I want to talk about this Lincoln Sphere, Lena gets a kill.
Back to the Lincoln Sphere.
Anyway, the Lincoln Sphere. This is actually a Dota 1 build that's coming out from the Mirana. It was a little more trademarked for Mirana getting a Yasha made famous. I can't remember. It was one of the Na'Vi players in the International 1. They used her as a side laner so often. And, yeah, I think it was Light of Heaven did it.
Ooh.
Oh, and the stun comes out. We should get the tower. Yes, she's actually going to get the tower.
Good play.
And a couple of shots going down on, and he will try and get out of there, but the team.
Oh, he's going nowhere.
Yeah, they will beat him down, and Chen is actually the one who's going to pick that up. The two familiars actually now drop down, and that's very.
Goodbye, Untamed. There he goes. The concoction coming out, and then Jizz Bond just with the Dagon. Just the Dagon popped him, but he did trade his life for. The tower did do a lot of damage there after he got hit with Unstable Concoction, and then Smithy just came in, just cleaned up with a couple of Shadow Razors, auto attacks, just smack him down a little. But now we're going to see CSW pushing onto that mid tower, and now Visage stuck on D's in a bit of trouble, takes a lot of damage, and there he goes. Slick's finishing off the kill with a nice Sacred Arrow. That was good work from Guani there as well, training the Centaur stumps with the Z-Muffin Man's Impale, and it's just allowed him to set up a perfect 1, 2, 3, 4 stun combo. And they're going to be able to push onto that middle lane now. Visage is still down for another 10 seconds. Naga does have her ulti up though now, Rag. No points in mirror image still, and we've gone 0-3-3-1. So she's still in level 7. We need to see her leveling up a bit just to get Song of the Siren on a shorter cooldown. And just to give her team that room to farm. Alchemist only has a Mithril Hammer at the moment with his Phase Boots Midas. He's not that huge for an Alchemist, or at least what he should be at this point of the game.
Definitely not for the start he had. I mean, he had max points in Grieval's Greed. He got a hand to Midas within about 4 minutes of the game. Then he had his phase boots up really, really early. But as I said earlier, it was very, very squishy. That Lena came down and just absolutely burst the crap out of him down there in that bottom lane. His supports weren't there at the time, so they weren't able to give him that protection to be able to get out. But you have a look at this Mirana. Mirana does have a full Lincoln Sphere now. She will be moving down in the bottom lane. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw a couple of damage items, most likely a Desolator come out of her very, very shortly. If not that first, at least a casual Yasha, just so she's got the attack speed and a little bit of bonus damage.
Yeah, I think it'll be Deso before Yasha, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But the Yasha...
I was just thinking casual Yasha. Casual Yasha.
The Deso is such good damage, especially with the negative armor. You know, it's the output is huge. And now we've got a little bit of a push on Roshan from CSW. They're going to throw the tier 1 tower at top. It's still on full health. And they're going to open that up with a stun from Slicks. 5-second arrow onto Roshan. He's just going to have a little bash fight with the Seder Tormentors. That sounds weird. But they're going to take that pretty quickly. Clockwork scouts it out though. He knows they're at Roshan, but there is nothing they can do against it. Roshan's down to 3.5k life. We have teleports coming in, but they're not really going to make a push on it. All they know is it's happening. We can't do a thing about it. We'll let them have it. What can we do instead? They're going to try and push onto that tier 1 on top, and here goes Smoothie. Takes the Jizz Bond combo straight to the face, and I must say, he just got creamed. So they get, not only does CSW get the Roshan, they get a nice kill at top and save that tier, the tier 1 tower, because Jizzbomb was lucky enough to have a Invis rune in his bottle and just popped Shadow Fiend. What do you do?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see some mana regen items, like most likely a sheep stick coming out from Jizzbond soon. There is Jizzbot, whatever. From Jizzbond, seeing something like a sheep stick come out of him very, very shortly, because he needs that mana regen. He needs it quickly. Because he's always running out of mana as much as he has his boots and stuff. Just the Laguna Blade, 680 mana at level 3. It takes so much of his mana away. Getting that sheep stick will give him a good mana pool, good mana regen, and some nice stats that'll help him out even more just to survive and so on. But it does look like they will be going for that bottom tier 2 tower just to get rid of all the towers on the outer. And here comes an arrow. Will it hit? No, too short.
Too short, too short. And I'm just looking at the numbers there. Laguna Blade, Dagon. 1650 damage before magic resist. So about 1300 damage.
That was a great Mad Lib.
That's
and
a lot.
It costs... What is it?
680, 180, 860 mana.
860 mana.
He can do it twice before having to refresh. But he does have the bottle and the mana boots, so it's not too bad. He might have to swap. Yeah, he's going to look like he's going to pick up either an Arganims or a Bloodstone. Probably the Arganims, actually, considering he's just going for pure burst more than efficiency. But they're going to, now we have CSW pushing onto that bottom tier 3 tower rag. Slicks is just sort of leading the storm, leading the charge, I should say. And, because he's got the Lincoln Sphere now, just for some nice mana regen. He's up at 8 health regen, and they can just push him with the creeps. Reactive Armor going to give Timbersaw a little bit of extra health, and Zamuffin Man's at the back. He's got Vendetta up at the moment, so he's just sort of supporting them there. While we've got Smithy from the Radiant is farming the Dire jungle while his tier 3's getting pushed.
Yeah, he knows his jungle is not safe whatsoever. He knows that they probably don't quite have enough to push up into that high ground just yet. With the acid spray, with the what is it, Riptide, they've got too much negative armor to be able to do it. And there we go, up into the top lane. We see Slicks go straight up there. He's going to be pushing back out on this top lane, just so he's able to get all the lanes pushing. Like, you have a look, they've split off. They want all the lanes pushing, because Clockwork, with his rockets, can just keep out pushing out other lanes. He doesn't even need to be there. He just shoots the rocket up, and they lose health, and there's already at a disadvantage in that lane. So the lanes keep automatically pushing out.
Yeah, they are. They're going to keep working on that bottom tower, but on that bottom racks. But they can't. They just can't break that high ground yet. Just not yet. It'll come soon. But if they can get a pick off with that Lena, they should probably be able to get that, and they do have the advantage. They're 15k gold, 14k experience in the lead. Just having a look at the GPMs, I'll bring that up for you viewers. Where have we got it? We got Mirana and Lena both on 520. Then you got Alchemist Shadow Fiend 410, 345. So that's your safe lane carry and your mid. Are the top of each team, as it should be expected. Then you've got your Timbersaw and your what's he called? Chen. But that's not it. Like, look at the hero level difference.
Oh, Mirana.
17, 13, 11, 11, 9.
Be in a little bit of trouble. She does manage to leap away, and the Lincoln Spear saves it from the net from Naga up in that top lane.
That down at bot though, we've got that push coming in again. They've got Chen and Timbersaw and Lena just pushing through those creeps. Chen's taking his little army and he's going to go find a Wildkin, get rid of one of the Satyrs. That Wildkin, I don't know why he wanted that. I suppose the extra armor, but Lena and Timbersaw just go straight through that creep wave really quickly. Lena's got another 2.6k gold up her sleeve. Mirana 4k gold, so we could even see like a butterfly or an MKB coming up from Mirana. Nope, never mind.
Deso.
Straight up Deso, as just casually buying a Deso straight up, as you do. But now Smitty and Naga are both going to move onto that top lane, try and defend it a little bit from outside the base, which is quite risky. I mean, that whole sort of outside this area that I've just drawn on the map for you, it's dangerous, dangerous territory. That's do not go land. This area here is controlled by CSW. And if it looks like I just drew on the entire map, I did.
Well, we just saw our minute 22. We saw our first major item pickup for Alpha. They've managed to get a BKB finally on the Alchemist now, so he's going to be able to finally jump in. And as I say, that Shadowfiend has managed to pick up his BKB as well. So now this Lena burst won't be as good as it was, but I mean, there's still enough right click. Now the Mirana has a Desolator plus the Lincoln Sphere giving her all those stats. She's going to have plenty of right click damage. And here we go, straight in. There we go. The
BKB pop.
Gets popped, and they're just going to walk away right now. They just want to try and get out. And Timbersaw, you have a look at him. He's just basically trying to save the Lena. And the ult does go off from SF, but does not hit. The Invis does go off, but unfortunately he uses a move able to be seen. Visage will get picked up there by the Lena. So it's a trade 1-for-1. The Timbersaw for the Visage. And look at this right behind. They've got all the rest of their team just hiding in the wings, just waiting. And there we go. Bang, gone, dead.
It is, and it's just the follow-up as well. Nagasara and ultis, and it allows her team to get in place. Visage takes out Jizz Bond, followed by Nyx Assassin, popping that Alchemist, who was just going to end up getting stunned there. Mirana comes in with a double kill, and that's a 4-for-2 trade. Sorry, 5-for-2 trade. Alchemist bought back. Visage is now up again, and that's going to give Slicks, Guardians, Muffin Man pretty much free reign onto that bottom tower. Alchemist the only person who's really able to do much at the moment. The Glyph's going to come out. 5 seconds of sort of get yourself together. Come up here. We're going to have the Aegis reclaimed in a couple seconds. Cocktail coming out. Dodged by Slicks. No, he didn't dodge it. Never mind. What the hell, animations? Why you do this to me? But they are going to keep trying to push onto that. We've got a buyback from Naga Siren now. And they're going to keep defending this. Slicks and Muffin Man aren't really able to break that high ground just yet, Ragnarok. And now Guani's going to have to back off. He's going back into their jungle, finish off that camp, and they're going to sort of regroup and defend a bit. And look, that was a good defense from Alpha. They did have to waste a couple buybacks, but waste is a loose term. They didn't actually waste it. They've still got their racks. And it was only, what, a quarter of the HP on that tower? They're definitely going to have to be defensive for a bit, but it's not over yet. We've just seen that they can't break that high ground. The experience is sort of dipped up a little bit, but not much. And we got a gem coming out on Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, he also picked himself up a 4-staff just then as well, so he's going to be able to force himself. Usually we see a Blink Dagger early on for a Nyx Assassin, so he can blink in and impale, but he's gone for that 4-staff instead. So he's going to be able
in trouble
to
at top.
himself in, and, yeah.
Now we got Muffin Man coming in. Hook shot from White Yaksha, bringing him into the fight. But he's going to go straight down to Jizz Bond. That Lena combo, it was just stun, nuke, and Dagon. And there goes Shadowfiend with a Laguna Blade. Ice is nice now in a bit of trouble as well. But Net coming out onto Jizz Bond, and the Visage stun's going to save that Naga from almost certain death. So that's just 2 quick pickups there. And it was a bit unfortunate for Clockwork to hookshot in there. Wrong place, wrong time. And it ended up in himself getting killed quite mercilessly.
Oh, and just look at the damage that Mirana's doing to that Alchemist right now. That was 1 Starfall on 2 right clicks, and Alchemist is down to a quarter of his HP. And here we
there
go.
He goes.
Links in, just instantly stuns, instantly with the Dagon, bursts down the Alchemist for the rest of his life, and that's basically all the counter push now gone. Shadowfiend's up in another 15 seconds, but they're going to be able to take this tower and just right-click it down as much as they want. Lena's there, Timbersaw's now picked up his Bloodstone, so he's going to have plenty, and there we go, we do have another stun coming out, and ultimate as well from the Lena. Laguna Blade blowing up that Visage, and this is just basically free range on this tower. They just need to sit back, just let the creeps do a lot of the work, and they're going to pick up this tower, and then Alpha's not going to be able to stand there anymore.
No, and they're losing both top and bottom at the same time. And I think, did Hookshot? He just hookshotted, he did. But at top rag, we got ganking mid and Slicks pushing on that tier top on that top tower. And they're going to probably get the top racks here. And I don't think Alpha know what to do. Do they defend bot? Do they defend top? What do they do? Smithy's going to try and defend bot solo, and that's not going to work out very well for him. Muffin Man's going to pop him very quickly. He's going to go down in a second. Naga's had the ulti top to stop Slicks and ganking from going in there. The Cogs is going to come out. White Yaksha is now going to go down to a nice combo from Mirana. A stun followed up by the couple of auto attacks. And they're going to try and get that racked. No, they're not. They're going to push in. Nagasaren also goes down. Going to take the creeps. Here comes Suck on D's. Trying to get a soul assumption off. He's taking a lot of damage from both Slicks and ganking again. That Timbersaw's damage just ruining him. But I think a bit of Gravekeeper's Cloak might have just kept him alive there. Slicks is going to take a lot more damage. And there we go. The Mirana ulti's coming out. Untamed. I don't know what happened to him. He's taken a Mirana arrow from across the map. sort of way down here. I don't know what he's done there. Now we've got Mirana buying back. Shadow Fiend's popped the BKB. He's going in. Jizz Bond just launching little fiery projectiles. Gets the kill there. Alchemist Concoction comes on to Jizz Bond. He's now getting hit by the Visage Bats. And we're going to see another buyback? No, it was just the Mirana buyback, and here we go. Now we've got the Alchemist BKB. He's going to try and slap Jizz Bond down, and he's ghost-lifted himself. He's going to stay alive, trying to pick up that ethereal blade, and is White Yaksha in trouble. There he goes now. This is just a complete war here at this lane rag. We've got a random arrow flying in.
Goes down.
There goes Lena. The fight might subside a little bit. Now Ice is nice, popping those mirror images. He's going to try and defend. So out of that, this is just turmoil, and now Slicksy's back for round 2, and there he is, just launching arrow after arrow into that Naga Siren. She's going to go down. Slicks isn't done. He's still got 500 health. He's still ticking. The Bloodstone's on Timbersaw. He's had a field day with all those charges, and there goes the Alchemist. Laguna Blade straight out, and the GG gets called. It was bound to happen, and that fight there just...
I was going to jump in at some point, but I thought you're doing so well, I might as well sit back and let you
Water!
go.
Where's water?
Yeah. Aghanim Scepter on Lena, such a ridiculous cooldown with a ridiculous amount of burst damage. You just can't do it. They managed to take her out, but she had enough money to buy straight back. So she was back down into that fight, and that was the hardest thing for Alpha. They wasted their buybacks earlier. Well, they didn't exactly waste them. They used their buybacks earlier, so the moment they pushed back in, there was still a massive cooldown on those buybacks. I think it was about 3 minutes when that fight broke out. So Alchemist and Shadow Fiend had both had to wait out that amount of time before they were able to jump back into the fight again. Just basically good teamwork coming out there. Lena in the mid lane, I was quite surprised by that early on because I thought Lena support, Nyx Assassin mid, but it just seemed to work out really, really well with Jizz Bond, aka Godot, going into that mid lane as the Lena. Very, very Dendy style Dota play with that, just trying to use unconventional heroes that people aren't used to playing against to go in there and just manage to absolutely smash the face.
Yeah, look, and it definitely worked for them. It was the early kills on from Jizz Bond onto that Shadow Fiend, which sort of got the ball rolling, and CSW really just snowballed pretty hard from there. There wasn't anything they could do because that snowball just kept getting bigger and bigger, and you can look at Jizz Bond's score there, 24-5. And he was just so aggressive with his gameplay. He went that Dagon, then the Blink Dagger, and it allowed him that mobility and extra damage that could just shut out any of those heroes. Alchemist and Shadow Fiend didn't have their BKBs. They didn't have that max HP to keep them alive. That combo was just killing them, and it was every minute and a half that it was occurring, Rag. And there was... There's no way to stop that, and once he got to that point where it was a high enough level, it was just lather, rinse, repeat over and over again, while Slicks kept getting farm on your top lane, while Muffin Man ganking mid pushed on that bottom lane, while Muffin and Guani pushed that top lane or the mid lane and pushed those towers. It was just really good communication and team play from CSW.
Yeah, all it was shut down the Shadow Fiend, shut down the Alchemist, two of the biggest snowballers in the Dota at the moment, and basically they have the game won, and that's all they managed. That's all they did is just shut down those two big carries, and that was the end of the game for them. It was going to be very, very hard to come back there for Alpha from any point from then on.
Yeah, it snowballed out of control. So that is a good game for CSW, taking round 1 over Team Alpha. We're going to actually have like about a 5-minute break or so while we wait for teams to get back in the lobby, have a food break, that sort of stuff. Big shout out to the sponsors of Tide's Wrath, TT Esports and Thermatake for giving us the prizes for this tournament. That prizes, tournament and their sort of motivation for the teams to do well. This has been Shadz and Ragnarok bringing you the action of Game 1. For myself, you can check out twitch.tv/the Shadstar. I'm actually going to type that up now so people can actually see it, which they can't do anyway because I buggered the overlay. Or youtube.com/the Shadstar for some of my videos. This is where these casts are going to be as well. Rag, you've got your channel as well.
Yeah, you can head over to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/RagnarokSC. I only mainly have a bunch of Dota games up there at the moment, a few League of Legends. I get around, I cast, I do a lot of gaming content, but I'm only just really starting to put them all up on YouTube. You can go over, check out the casts I've done already, but there will be more content going up there shortly.
Alright, and we'll be back in about 5 or so minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to move the overlay so you can see that. There we go. And we will be back very soon for Game 2. Stay tuned for Alpha vs Can't Say Whips, round 2 of this best of 3 match. Round of 32 for Southern Cross Dota's Tide's Wrath Season 3. We'll be back very shortly. See you soon.
Whenever you're good.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 of the Southern Cross Dota Tides Wrath Season 3, round of 32 qualifiers. So at the moment, this is the second round of games. We're back with round 2 here. This is Alpha against Can't Say Whips. We did see a nice game. I'm not going to spoil it for you viewers. Well, it doesn't make a difference. You're going to see the score at the top of the screen anyway. We did see CSW sort of steamroll through Team Alpha there. Jizz Bond on the Lena, just going out of control early on, and just being so aggressive with her gameplay, and it led to a fast, about 25-minute win over Team Alpha. I am Shadz, bringing you back the action, and again, I'm with Ragnarok, and we're going to see typical bands starting these things off, Rag, Elder Titan and Batrider.
Yep, and if anything that I think about Dota comes true, then we're going to definitely see a Wisp band come out very shortly, or should I say, sorry, IO, as they had to change his name because of copyright laws from Blizzard.
He'll always be Wisp.
Always be Wisp. But we do have, probably most likely, there goes a Chen ban. I was going to say, it's either going to be Lena
Grace
Chen,
ban.
Lena Chen or Nyx after that last game, but it wouldn't surprise me here if these guys ban out Wisp. They do have second pick, so they won't be able to pick him up in the first one. And I'm sure they would love to have someone along the lines of Wisp, especially with that sort of ganking mobility style that they went with the last game. They were just going to be able to get down, but no, it's going to be Darkseer. They don't want that long laner at all, and a Visage pickup straight away, so the Wisp is still in the pool, and it would not surprise me right now, Can't Say Whips would actually pick up the Wisp right now, seeing that he is the icon for their team. And a Naga Siren? Come on, Wisp. Come on, Wisp.
You keep saying that like it's
Go.
going to happen. They can't say
Do it.
Whips. They can't say it.
It's gonna happen. Oh, damn it, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you. Yeah.
We've got 20 seconds to the side. The bonus time. Well,
We have seen a little bit of a flip from the last game. They do have the Naga Siren now on Can't Say this time, taking it away from Alpha. They have managed to pick up that Visage that was played very well by Suck on D's last game. So he's going to be able to get that one again. He's going to be probably have the time of his life. Unfortunately, was not able. They were able to pick up First Blood and a Warlock.
oh.
I'm gonna say right now, this is going to be a mid lane Warlock.
You know what? Warlock is really strong mid. I've played against a Warlock mid, and he just Shadow Word and Fatal Bonds on you, and you're just unhappy because you're taking damage. You're not in the lane, you're still taking damage. You come back to the lane, you take more damage. Warlock's on full health, you look at him, he hurts you. You run back with your tail between your legs, and you're still taking damage when you're in the well. Warlock's a jerk.
He very much is, and we do have a Rubik pickup, so it looks
Smart
like they're going
pickup.
with their supports. So both of their supports early on once again. Visage and Rubik. Rubik, especially after seeing that Warlock, once he gets that ultimate up, he's going to be able to drop his own golems on people's faces. But as I said before, we're looking for the synergy of the teams right now. You got Naga Siren to set up with the Song of the Siren, and then you got Warlock to drop his what is it? Chaotic
Stone.
Offering.
Just
Chaotic
call it
Offering.
Rock. Everyone calls it Rock.
Hey, I got it right. It's Chaotic Offering. Woohoo!
Everyone just calls it Rock.
Golem.
Rock Golem.
So yeah, being able to turn around and drop the Golem on everyone as well, getting that extra stun time, Rubik won't have a chance to steal either one of those. And plus, because the Golem is immune to magic, he's going to be able to walk through it if Rubik manages to steal Song of the Siren anyway. So they're still going to be getting beaten down by Warlock's Golem, even though they have that big AoE sleep.
Yep, and I'm actually going to show people what the Golem looks like because I can do that. And we're going to see a little video on the screen of what Rock Golem looks like. Yeah! That was
I'll
awesome,
have to wait for
wasn't
this
it?
in the stream. I'll have to wait for this one in the stream, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I had to show it. And now we've got the bans coming out. We've got Puck and Lifestealer being banned. Puck obviously going to be a mid, unlikely to be an offlane. Lifestealer, a hard carry. And then we're going to see Prophet, King of Rat Dodo, and Dollar Bills banned out as well as the Weaver. And Weaver's he's shifted his role a bit around lately, Rag. He's always been a sort of off-lane hero, but lately we've seen him in the safe lane, and now we've got a Drow Ranger. What? What? Is this Korean Dodo?
Sorry, I just took a mouthful of water and nearly spit it on my screen when I saw that. A Drow Ranger. This is something new.
It's Korean Dodo.
I'm just going to say to everyone out there, we are Australian. Thank God we're not Toby, or else we'd be nearly jizzing on our screens right now. But
We have Jizz Bond.
and a Razor. Yeah, we
Razor's,
Razor
Razor is standard. There's a normal band.
And a
Good,
Razor.
good.
And
I was having withdrawals
wonder-
for a second.
I actually wonder if this is going to be that Razor that we see
Ooh, what?
with the Refresher and Aghanims, but a Disruptor pickup now. And can't say, picking up some very, very odd-style heroes, like heroes you don't usually see a lot together. And Disruptor definitely will be going into that support role, I'm guessing. Warlock will be going into that mid lane with Naga Siren support, Drow Ranger. And this is actually going to be quite lead deadly on that tri
Support
lane,
Drow.
because you got the support Drow.
Yeah, you just maxed you.
No, it's not going to be support Drow. I'm going to say right now, it's not going to be.
What we're going to see, we're going to see Drow taking up support on bottom lane with Warlock, and they're going to be getting farm onto that Warlock. Disruptor's going to solo safe lane, just getting his W and stats, and we're probably going to see a hero like Wisp going onto that mid lane. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect Dodo. Although realistically, you can run Drow as a support, but as soon as Drow hits that level 6, which she'll get quite soon, she's just going to start hitting like a small truck. That 40 agi, you know, it's huge. It's a free, what's the item? It's a free Eagle Song and more at level 6. That's just not fair.
Yeah, very much is. But this Razor, I'm gonna be wondering whether he's gonna be going that Refresher Aghanims build.
Lightning build.
That we have seen.
Lightning
build. Yeah, basically it destroys towers, destroys heroes, destroys basically everything that sits around him in any way whatsoever. But we are waiting for the last pickup now by Alpha. They got 8 seconds and an Outworld Devourer. I was about to say Destroyer, but Devourer.
Outworld Demolisher, as he was for like a day.
Yeah. So OD now being picked up, that most likely is going to be their mid lane, and it's going to work out very, very well, especially if we have the Warlock go in there, because he's someone who needs his mana. He wants to be able to heal himself up and sustain on that lane, but if he doesn't have the mana pool to do it anymore because of imprisonment, he's not going to be able to heal himself up. He's not going to be able to use those fatal bonds. He's not going to be able to use anything much on that lane and have to rely on his right clicks for last hitting, which really doesn't work out well for him. Just say.
Well, do they put Drow mid?
Well, that's probably the best one at the moment. Either that or the Naga Siren. As much as she does need a lot of mana for
Naga
her.
would get demolished though, whereas Drow, if she
Very
doesn't,
much so.
Drow you don't need mana. Like obviously your Frost Arrows does help significantly with harass and orb walking, but it's not a necessity. She has that little bit of extra range. She has the damage to harass OD out. But then I suppose you'll see your Razor on your safe lane. That's clear enough. But is it going to be an aggressive? Is it going to be safe lane or aggressive lane? They've got Visage.
I'm not sure, but both of these teams now need their offlaner. That's what they need right now. Both these teams will need their offlane hero. And
Clockwork being
saying
banned.
that,
Smart ban.
it's saying that with the Drow Ranger, Naga, and Disruptor, you do have a very good aggressive tri-lane there, so they could send it that way and just send another one down for a safe lane farm. But yeah, as you said, Clockwork has been banned out. That's one of the safe laners. It wouldn't surprise me right now if we had some other safe laner get banned out. There we go, the Windrunner straight out of the way.
Venomancer!
What? Yep. What?
That means we're going to see ward build, and I don't like ward build. It makes me unhappy. It makes me unnecessarily unhappy. But look, it can stop the push. Because you get a couple wards down, you just throw wards down everywhere, and it does stop the creeps. Especially when they got 450 health. But Timbersaw... Well, either way, just running through, I'll take CSW again, Ragnarok. We're going to have Jizz Bond on Warlock, so we're probably going to see him taking up that middle lane like we saw last game. Little bit of retribution, perhaps. We'll see Slicks playing that Venomancer. Wait a second. Slicks plays hard carry. So we're going to see carry Venomancer this game then. Ganking mid on the Drow range. We're going to see a support Drow, I hope. The Muffin Man's going to be on that Naga Siren and Guani on Disruptor. Well, that's offlane. That's offlane
Drow.
Unless they're taking...
That's an offlane Drow.
Well, look, we've got an aggressive tri-lane, so we're going to have a safe tri-lane, which means 1v1 against Timbersaw top, which could be alright. Now, Rag, before we get underway, just take us quickly through those the Team Alpha boys who have just smoked up, and I'll keep following them.
Yep. Untamed is playing on top of that Razor. We do have Isis Nice being playing the Rubik. White Yakasha is playing the Timbersaw. We do have Smithy 420. He's on the Outworld Devourer. And then we have Suckon D's playing on that Visage once again. And I just got through that very, very quickly because I'm sure they want to try and gank up someone. They want something to happen very early on. But it doesn't look like they're going to find it. They ran right through the jungle, had the smoke up, and they weren't able to pick off anyone. And here we go. We do have Drow. Drow is soloing that bottom lane, and she's going to be fought out right
she's
now.
having a...
Rubik trying to get in range, but he's not going to be able to do it. And Drow now knows there's an aggressive tri-lane down here on this bottom lane for her.
Wait, so Slicks is going mid... So we're going to have a Venomancer mid, and a Naga carry at top. What? No. Now they're just... Wait, solo...
We have a solo Drow bottom lane. We have a solo Warlock top lane and a tri-lane... No, actually, the tri-lane's going down to bottom. They get taken...
Okay. So solo Warlock against Timber and Venomancer mid against OD. That doesn't... Well, actually, you know what? Venomancer can do that with Poison Sting. He gets that passive extra damage. He's gone for level 1 Venomous Gale, which I must say is like the most brutal nuke at level 1. And Drow is in trouble at bot. Takes a little bit of static link, loses 14 damage, down to 38 damage now. She's just being harassed out by Ice Nice at the moment. Throws a couple ice arrows back at him, says, get off me. Get off me lawn. But we do have the supports coming up now. They're going to try and counter ward Guani and Zimuffin Man. Just hovering around that bottom lane, going to try and get these wards down. Well spotted there by Muffin Man. Takes out that ward nice and early, and that's the creep pull. Sorry, the creep block removed. Now moving around to our mid lane, Slicks is just throwing off a couple Venomous Gales. He's got all of 130 mana, so he threw it off before he'd lose all that mana for good. And OD did get hit by it, and it's doing a little bit of damage to him. We've got Warlock up on top lane. Is he going to try and pull those creeps? He is. He's going to be pulling those creeps into his lave just to pull it back. And I think White Yaksha did a single pull because he's got a double stack of creeps there. I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
what's going on?
Looks like he's going to be pulling them down to the tower. Basically, both of these on top lane just want the experience right now. They're not too concerned with the farm. As long as they get the levels up, they're going to be perfectly fine. In the way of the team fights later on, like Warlock really just wants to get to that level 6. Timbersaw, same sort of thing, just wants to be able to get up that chakram at level 6, so he's going to be able to have the money and the time later on, basically when the team fights break out. But we do have a look, we do have the pulls going through, we do have the two supports rotating up into the middle lane now. We do have Venomancer, he's seen them, he's going to fall back to the tower, and this is a failed gank. This is a big waste of time for these two. They can't do it, and there's left open. Razor now down on the bottom lane. Will Naga go to jump on? No, definitely will not. We'll throw down a sentry. Razor did move back, and it's just outside of range. Or is it just in range? I don't know.
You can click it. It is in the range. Oh, shit.
It is. Oh, I'm not sure if that's just in or just out. I'm pretty sure it's just out of range.
I don't know. I'm a bit confused. It looks.
If you
like...
hover over the top, of the ward itself, you can see it's just outside that line. So I think it's just outside the line, or they just didn't have vision of it in the Sfogger wall.
You know what? It is.
So
I can actually see it.
Yeah.
It is out by a minuscule amount.
The smallest of smallest amounts, right?
That is ridiculous. That is just unfortunate.
Right now, but we do have. There we go. Very much so. But the two spots back down here in the bottom lane now. Doesn't look like Drow is having the best time down here. She is 7 for 3. Warlock up in top lane is 17 for 7. He's managed to pick up a lot of last hits right now, so he's got a lot of gold, as well as getting himself, a lot of levels. He is level 4. We do have Timbersaw. He's level 4 himself as well. Trying to drop the stats. Still a bit of damage now to Juice Bond, but they're just walking back out. And down in bottom lane, a little bit going out. They do have the net. The slows come out.
Oh, snipe.
The last tick of damage from Thunderstrike from the Disruptor, as well as the right click coming out from the Frost Arrows, just enough to be able to take down the Razor, and that will be first blood. And it does look like we have pings already coming out. They want to jump straight down onto this Drow. She is sitting about And the pickup now, Muffman looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to try and get away. And we do have slow. Soul Assumption will manage to pick that up. And Razor trying to come down. The good luck have funds come out now after they get a kill. The same as last game.
A little bit of trash talk there. Ganking mid, the Drow Ranger did say GLHF after getting a kill. Razor replies GLHF as well after securing his own kill there. So a little bit of cheekiness from both teams, and that's what we like. We like a little bit of smack talk. We're Australian. If you watch the cricket, it's all about the smack talk. It's all about bad manners, and that's being brought to DotA. And
I was doing that on Saturday myself.
of course,
Smack talking people at cricket.
it's not cricket without a little bit of sledging. It's not DotA with a little bit of without a bit of smack talk. And, you know, it's one thing I've found. If you're playing Spirit Break, you start playing Miley Cyrus's Came In Like a Wrecking Ball as you're charging someone, just for maximum satisfaction. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Just heading over and looking around at the last hits and denies at the moment. Warlock absolutely smashing this top lane. Timbersaw only has 11 for 3, whereas Warlock's got 31 for 13. And down in this mid lane, Venomancer's holding his own quite well down here. He's got himself 17 for 6, and he's actually pushed Outworld out of lane. Yeah, very low Outworld Destroyer.
It's the points
so
in Poison Sting.
Back to back. Yeah, definitely. Like, no one realizes how much damage this can pump out very early on the Poison Sting. He's only level 3, 10-second duration, 15 damage ticks over time, and an extra 13% slow. So you've got the 50%, then another 13 that goes on top of it, and you just barely can move anywhere. And you're not seeing this Max Ward build, so, you know, you don't have to worry. And there we go, the Segado's Gale goes straight out once again, and he's not going to be able to get down for any right clicks. He wants to just at least get one off, and there we go, he does get one off. The tower is going to hit him, he's going to lose a lot of health, and it looks like we have more interesting stuff going down at bottom.
What's going down at bottom? Oh, Suck on D's in a bit of trouble now. He's been glimpsed back, and he's taking a little bit of damage. The net comes out from Muffin Man. Suck on D's down to about 100 HP. He's still staying alive, though. Genki mid's in a bit of trouble. Gets blocked by the creeps. Muffin Man goes down, takes him out, and Suck on D's goes down as well. It's now a 2-for-1 trade. Muffin Man takes 2 kills. And Untamed, the Razor, now in trouble. He's going to throw a Plasma Field. Is he going to live? Muffin Man's riding him quickly. Oh, there's the wall coming up from Kinetic Field from Disruptor. And it might just get that kill. And there we go. Triple kill from Muffin Man. Naga Siren rolling in that gold. And it was really unlucky for that Drow there. She got caught just down here. And the creeps came. And then we had a really good Kinetic Field. And now we've got Slicks in a bit of trouble. He's walked in between Smithy and Ice is Nice. Smithy does have double damage. And really good blocks from Ice is Nice now. And there we go. Slicks is going down. Ganking mid. Just tailing him from the top of that cliff. Railing him down a little bit. He's going to try and get some more attacks off. And there we go. That fight's just come to a nice little stop. And OD hits really hard with the DD. Like, that's 190 damage. Damn.
Very much does. And it looks like he's got himself some Tranquil Boots very early on, which I'm not sure how that's going to handle because he's going to have to wait out that entire Venomous Gale time and even the Poison Sting ticks that come out from the Venomancer. So I don't know how much. He will cop a lot of harassment. There we go. We see the Venomous Gale go straight out. He will imprisonment straight away, and then he sort of wanted to stay in, but then wanted to walk away again. And we do have a gang coming in as well. They were smoked up, but it looked like Ice is Nice managed to just get spotted from behind, but he's
Glani, what are you walking into?
There we go. Going in right now. They both walk down here. The lift has come up, pushed him straight back. Venomous, the ultimate comes straight out. Did he get
Smithy
the
will die.
No, he did not. So Smithy will not die. And we do have the pullback right now. He does actually die. Gets the thing. And the Soul Assumption does come off. And will he get the last right click now? Will this be?
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. A double kill now.
Very well
Glani.
played.
Just walked straight up. And for the one trade of the Venomancer, they managed to pick up 3 kills there in the mid lane. So a very good trade there for, can't say, going down. And now it's a 1v1 for the Razor versus the Drow Ranger down here on bottom lane. Drow in a little bit of trouble, does have herself upper power treads, does have another 500 gold in her stash at the moment. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw a Ring of Aquila, but I'm pretty sure we do already have a Ring of Basilisk, yeah, on the Warlock, so for that top lane, give him a bit of extra armor.
Dyer's middle tower is under
Yeah,
siege.
look, Drow's... You getting that Aquila or not? No, I don't think so. Oh,
What was that, sorry?
We're going to have a bit of action up onto that top lane now. Guani teleporting up. Disruptor's level 8 on a support. That is huge. And it was that goal. It was the experienced mid. And he's going to be able to get a kill now. He's like the highest level. Oh, there we go. Chaotic offering onto White Yaksha. He's going to go down. Yeah, he got dropped.
Yeah, that was just bye-bye. See you later, Timbersaw. I don't care how many points you have up in that reactive armor. You are not going to survive that. He's actually only got 1 point in it at the moment, so he doesn't really have that much. But dire structures are now fortified. They do have the golem, the Warlock Golem up there, taking out that creep wave. They really want him to be able to beat down on this tower as well, but he's losing a lot of health. There we go. They managed to do it off, and here we go. 2 TPs coming straight in, and we do have, Disruptor. Instantly takes him straight out, and there we go. We do have Rubik, and Rubik, no, Rubik, you're there by yourself now. You're not going to be able to survive that. You've got no chance, and he will be taken out by the Warlock. And we do have Timbersaw coming back in here again. He is now silenced. He can't get away, and the one last right click will go to Warlock. Warlock picking up a double kill up there in that top lane, and that was just, you know, bad TPing into that top lane right there. The moment that Visage got sent back, the Rubik should have just went, nah, stop this TB, not gone into there whatsoever. And in the meantime, we do have Venomancer as well as Naga going down on this mid lane, and there's nothing Outworld can do to stop this. He does have his ultimate up in 20 seconds, but you don't really want to use that to just stop a push.
Yeah, it's true. It was a nice fight at top, and the game is swinging into the way of CSW now, Rag. 5k gold, 5k XP, and it's sort of what we saw last game, although this time it is the supports who have been controlling this game. It's been Naga and, well, it's been Disruptor mostly. He's been in 9 of the 10 kills, and it's just been very good play with the glimpse, with the kinetic field. And it's just been great to watch because it's an odd hero. And now ganking mid's in trouble. Grave Chill coming out onto ganking mid from Stuck on D's. He's taking a lot of damage. Razor's getting the damage off, and there he goes. Razor steals a lot of damage, and now the Muffin Man's in for some last hits onto Z-Muffin, onto Visage. He's going to go down untamed. Gets pulled back into a kinetic field. That's a great turnaround. 2-for-1 trade there. At the cost of Disruptor, they managed to pick off the Visage and the Razor. Meanwhile at top, Jizzbond takes that tier 1. And what's happening at mid, Slicks is going very, very aggressively onto Smithy. Smithy's just written his own death wish by putting himself in that astral imprisonment. And there we go. Slicks is going to go down. He might... No, he shouldn't die to creeps here, although he might die to heroes. He's got the TP coming out. Is he going to get there in time? Visage gets there. Oh, very well done from Visage. Manages to get that kill. Slick's trying to teleport out and just managed to take a soul assumption on his way out for good luck. And that does end his life. So a nice little bit of gold going in the way of the entire team.
Down on bottom lane, basically the Naga just chased down the Rubik as fast as she wanted to and netted him, and kinetic field and just like the Disruptor, everything else, just kept him in position while they beat him down, so they were able to pick up all 3 on the bottom lane instead. Venomancer has picked up a set of treads now, so it looks like he's coming into... Where is he?
Venomancer.
Down in base.
Shadowblade Venomancer. Shadowblade Arganims and Veil. It's too strong. Game is hard.
Oh yeah, that will be quite deadly. But he has managed to pick up his treads now.
I can't view it.
He has picked up his treads. He's going to be able to do it. Arganims.
You can't view it. I think it's just extra damage.
Come on, Aghanim Scepter.
I like to see an orb of venom on Venomancer.
No, you can't use
it. It's because
there's no point.
But extra slow.
No point.
Extra slow. 4%.
No, there's no point.
4%. And we're going to fight a bot now, Rag. Ganking mid in a bit of trouble. And she's still losing a lot of damage. And those birds going straight after her. Naga Siren drops her ulti. And look at this. Really well placed, what do you call it? Static Storm from Disruptor. And this has left Ice is Nice and Suck on D's in a bad position. So Ice is Nice is going to go down now. 3-for-0 trade. We saw Razor, Visage, and Rubik go down. Great setup from the Naga Siren. Song of the Siren coming in, like stopping everybody. Disruptor gets more than enough time to drop his kinetic field and his static storm, and Drow just picks them off with her stupid amounts of damage that she has at level 8. And now
sorry, but we are 12 and a half minutes in, and Warlock has his Aghanims.
Damn, what's his gold per minute? 475.
12 and a half.
There
we go. We see the
dual golems. Oh god. Yaksha getting
bye
dropped.
That was the end of it. And there
exploded.
we go. The TP was coming in, and they will go back out. And oh yeah, they really don't want to go in on that. 2 TPs wasted looking at that bottom lane, but they're not going to be able to go into it. If they use these golems wisely with enough time, they might be able to get up and push onto the tier 2 tower as well. The birds are up there. We do have Visage on his way down, as well as Razor and Rubik, but that's not going to be enough to stop this push. We do have Drow Ranger, and the precision aura is just doing massive amounts of damage to that tower, and we see the Venomancer ultimate go off, and yeah, you're in a lot of trouble right now, Raze. It has the static link on the Venomancer, but not the one you wanted, and there we go. The kinetic field as well as those two golems just beating down, and the golems beat down again on the Visage as well. That's a triple kill for Warlock down there in that bottom lane, and he's just having the time of his life during this game. As an off-laner, has himself 7-0-0 kills.
Yeah.
So basically he's just keeping all his... And the GGs get called out. 14 minutes into this game, GG has been called. There is no coming back from this whatsoever. Good game too. Can't say whips.
In that fight, Rag, Timbersaw tried to TP in and he got glimpsed back again. That was really good play from Disruptor the whole game, just with those glimpses. He used them to aggressively and defensively, aggressively pulling people into the fight, defensively sending them just away on a TP. And I'm going to... never mind. So that's a good game. That's the best of 3 as well, Rag, and the winner was CSW over Team Alpha.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, like, you can't go wrong with CSW right now. They just walked in, they knew what they had to do, they went for a couple of unconventional heroes here and there, and it just managed to work out very, very well for them. I mean, they just put everything into place when they needed it, where they needed it, so it was just good teamwork. A big prop will go for the first game, going straight out to Jizzbond. For that leader play in the mid lane, just making everything. And for the second game, I will give it over to the Disruptor. Who was playing the Disruptor?
Guani.
Guani. For his Disruptor play, just glimpsing at the right moment, being able to pull back people. He did so well. And also a bit of a shout out to the Warlock, just being able to solo against that Timbersaw so well and get all the last hits and keep him from getting his own.
He did do very well, and have a look at that last hit. It's 94 in 14 minutes. Normally you'd expect to see about 70 in 10 minutes on what? Safe lane free farm. But that's
Yeah.
let's call it 90 in 14 minutes. That's huge. That's just ridiculous. So definitely a great game from CSW there, proving why they're one of the top teams in Australia and why they're in these pro leagues and near a professional. They're a professional level team. Definite shout out to CSW there and Team Alpha. Team Alpha will go through to the lower bracket. Is double elimination. This is the best of this is the top 32. I keep saying best of 32. It's the top 32 at the moment, and it's the second. It's the second round, we'll call it that. This has been a best of 3. CSW taking it 2-0. This has been Shadz and Ragnarok bringing you the action. Make sure big shout outs to our sponsors at TT Esports and Thermal Take. They're giving us the prizes for this tournament. No prizes, no tournament, no players. You can sort of see the linkage there. Be sure to head over to the SCD site, Southern Cross Dota. If you just punch that into Google, it'll definitely come up. SouthernCrossDota.com. And then look for Tide's Wrath. This is Tide's Wrath Season 3. There'll definitely be some more tournaments in the future. As I said, more sponsors, more players, more games, more tournaments. This is a big ticket. You're going to have about 400 games. If you want to check out where this cast will be uploaded and many others, just youtube.com/the Shadster, THESHADZTA. Same for Twitch. And Ragnarok also has his own channel where you can check out plenty of his content.
Yeah, but just over at youtube.com/RagnarokESC. Head over there, there's a few Dota things up. I will be putting more content. I do a wide variety of games, so if you're looking for just Dota content, it's probably not your scene, but there will be a lot of Counter-Strike stuff going up there shortly, as well as some League of Legends and etc, and plus games you probably never heard of.
But once again, be sure to head over to the forums for Southern Cross Dota. I'm actually getting the link now. Yeah, southernCrossDota.com. Just go there, sign up, come chat. We're all lovely people. We don't bite much. And of course, again, big thank you to our sponsors at TT Esports and Thermal Take for helping put this tournament together. And of course, the organisers of Tide's Wrath. Without these guys, we wouldn't be able to do this tournament. This has been great bringing you guys the Dota 2 action. We're going to be back tomorrow night, 6 and 8:45. There's going to be another game. SYF playing against... I'm going to just check that now. SYF are going to be playing against Unato over on the Southern Cross Dota Channel 1 Twitch, so be sure to check that out. Rag and myself will be back on Thursday night for some more Dota action, and we're going to be back tomorrow night as well. So, guys, have a good night, and we'll definitely be back for some more Dota action soon.